leo na sheki Nicki Minaj. Johnny ongeze ikamata usilegeze. Nauliza ni Nadia tamu kama embe dodo, nitakupa mpaka uzirai. Hili penzi si la kitoto, utabaki umelikubali. Taratibu bwana mkunaji, leo na sheki Nicki Minaj. Johnny ongeze ikamata usilegeze. Nauliza niongeze ikamata usilegeze. Basi kamate yo, ikamate. Kama umependa ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Ikamate yo, basi kamate yo, ikamate. Kama unataka ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Sama ndani gizani baba, mwiba kujitia una pole. Wewe ni mustarabu kaka, ikamate mpaka ipo. Below na check una marinate, I am your type and you can relate. Come let me give you a little taste. Later me and you participate. Johnny ongeze ikamata usilegeze. Nauliza niongeze ikamata usilegeze. Basi kamate yo, ikamate. Kama umependa ikamate, ikamate sana. Ikamate yo, basi kamate yo, ikamate. Kama unataka ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Ikamate yo, bila una check una marinate. I am your type and you can relate. Me give it. Later me and you party. Me younger. Ikamate. Ikamate yo. Ikamate. Kama umependa ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Ikamate. Kama unataka ikamate. Kama umependa ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Ikamate. Basi kamate yo, ikamate. Kama unataka ikamate yo, ikamate sana. Ikamate sana. Ikamate yo, ikamate kaka. Ikamate yo.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Okay. I think right now it's better. Then I even know I didn't have any sound. Thank you for that. Sometimes it's always, but it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for letting me, Jason. Let me actually check on myself before I continue. Thank God I not started. But yeah, karibuni sana you guys. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. I see I had no sound for those 12 minutes. But yes, I hope you had a beautiful weekend. And wishing you guys a beautiful week ahead. Yes, we're good. That was crazy. But hey, thank you so much. But yes, hope you had a beautiful weekend. Happy new month and wishing you guys a beautiful week ahead and a happy new month, of course, ahead. And welcome to another beautiful show. We're talking today about exploitation again. This is a documentary coming from the western parts of Kenya. We're talking about River Yala. And I was just actually saying, I feel like actually someone like my grandma would be one of the people who might lose land if not careful because of what is happening here. This is a Chinese company that actually is currently exploiting the people right there. And I was saying it's crazy. We already have 800 troops, French troops in Kenya. We have the Ebola crisis, America in Kenya, wink, wink, shout out to Keith. And this is all about resources, which we can see it's exploitation happening in the African continent. Wealth being taken away from us because we don't know the value and the worth of it. We've not been taught about it on purpose. And the people who are here helping us with fake food and all that, they're busy extracting all the wealth that should be building us and helping us as a country. So let's take a look at this as we continue. So let me put a copyright disclaimer as we get started. Let me put that. This is for educational purposes only. Copyright disclaimer under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976 allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticisms, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statutes, yeah, that might otherwise be infringing. So this is for only educational purposes only.
A river that has fed generations is being emptied, not by its own people, but by strangers.
Pia vile wanachimba hiyo nini inaenda chini kabisa, shimo inakuwa ni sasa. Hiyo jiko yangu nikiweka kwa maji huwa haiwezi fikia hapo chini vizuri.
A dredger boat, Chinese crews working the river from morning into darkness.
Mimi ningeomba kama serikali yetu warudishe China kwenye walitoka.
These people have not followed the due process and they are being protected by some people in government.
I don't think we will be in a position to give anybody a license to mine in River Yala or any river in Kenya.
This is River Yala, the river that originates from Nandi Hills and terminates in Lake Victoria. To the people who live along it, especially in Kakamega County, this river has always been three things: water, food, and gold.
Yeah, because I remember the last time I went to the village, this is the water we were using to actually wash our clothes. Yeah, the water we were using to bathe. Yep. And my cousins were swimming in this river.
For generations, its banks have fed families, watered livestock, grown crops, and hidden in its bed and its walls the treasure this county is most famous for. But for more than a year now, the people of this river tell us it has been making a different sound. But to understand who is making it and how they were ever allowed to, you must first understand this county and what gold means to it. Kakamega County sits atop one of Kenya's richest gold deposits, drawing prospectors, investors, and mining companies from across the world in pursuit of the precious metal. But while the promise of gold often brings hopes of developments and prosperity, it has also left behind a trail of disputes over land, environmental destructions, and claims that local communities are being sidelined from decisions affecting their own resources. Because in this county, mining is not an industry, it is a way of life, a livelihood routine that many of families here.
Exactly. People are depending on this to pay school fees. People are depending on this to buy food every single day. People are depending on this to drink their moonshine. People are depending on this, whatever, the mining here. I keep talking about this story every single time because I saw it. It's not something that I could actually say that I've not seen. I really saw it. I saw it. I saw it happening. I saw people mining, cleaning the gold, and coming back with close to nothing. And this is years. Imagine families, generations being born into the same cycle. So it's not even that the exploitation has not even been happening without the Chinese first coming there. The exploitation has been happening. The people have been exploited because where you take this gold, the market, you go sell this gold and you're given 200 Kenyan shillings or 500. It's crazy. It's crazy. They know. These are people who know the worth of what you're giving them. You're not educated to understand what you're giving away. So let's understand actually that first. Because so many Africans today, it's not just Kenya, many Africans are working in many different mine sites today that are not even owned or controlled by Chinese people. So many. If you talk about illegal mines, they are there. They really exist. They are there. Where Africans themselves are actually exploiting themselves. And I don't know if I should call it exploitment, but yeah, because you don't know the worth of what you're going to sell. You're born there, grow old there, you have kids, they grow up in the same system, the same cycle of the same money, the same breadcrumbs. The market, you want to tell me you don't understand the market, how it works? It just remains the same over years where you're just being paid $2 every day. So let's understand that first, actually.
Committed to. Families wake with it, sleep with it, and eat from it.
Yeah.
The culture is so embedded with daily life that men are known to dig for gold in the land, in makeshift shafts and along riverbeds. And when Kakamega is mentioned, something else comes to mind, a scramble for the gold on and beneath their land. It is not new. For decades, this county has known what it means to sit on treasure. Prospectors have come and gone. Companies have staked their claims. Fences have gone up around land families have tilled for generations. And for decades, the same questions have followed the gold. Whose land is it? Whose gold is it? And who, in the end, walks away with a fortune?
It's for the country. It's for nobody. It belongs to the country. That is how the question should be answered. You know, the gold doesn't belong to anyone as a specific individual or a specific company. It belongs to the country of Kenya, the people of Kenya in general. Not a specific entity or company, no way.
The battle that has always been fought on land, in boardrooms, in license applications, in public forums, a battle this county knows by heart. But while that old battle rages above ground, a new gold rush is underway. One with no boardrooms, no forums, and no paperwork anyone can find. It is happening inside the river, where the community owns no land, where there is no battle to fight, because the artisanal miners who have worked these waters for generations own nothing that can compete with what has arrived. A modern-day robbery taking shape slowly, with machinery never touched and never owned by the people themselves. But to understand this story and where it came from, let me take you to the very beginning. On May 26th, 2026, we received a message, a tip-off, or really a blown whistle. Chinese nationals, a dredger, inside a public Kenyan river. And immediately after, the message was corroborated with images that followed. A vessel squirt, industrial, foreign to these waters in every sense of the word. A dredger boat sitting in the middle of River Yala. And so we planned our trip to Kakamega County to find out what exactly is happening in this river. Now, I want you to keep the 2 dates in mind. We received this message on May the 26th. We arrived at River Yala on June 10th. Hold on to those dates. They will become very, very important as we move on.
This is the same river, understand. We've done also a story about it where during Uhuru Kenyatta's time, the currently aspiring presidential candidate, then who was the guy in charge of security, during that time, him being in charge of security, a lot of bodies were being dumped or found dumped, which is from torture and a lot of kidnapping in this particular river. A river, again, like you've heard, many people, not only apart from mining, this is where these people are using this water to drink, bathe, cook, and wash clothes. Okay? Put that in mind too.
We are then led down toward the water in Mukoyani village. This is where the Chinese crew has now moved to, and this is where we are told the dredging continues. River Yala rises from the Nandi Highlands and cuts across some of the richest gold-bearing ground in Western Kenya. And for the communities along its banks, this water is the backbone of this community. It is where they farm, where they fish, where their livestock drink. And for the artisanal miners, this is where they earn their daily bread. When we arrive, the dredger sits silent. The crew, we are told, has gone on a break. All along the stretch, the work never stops. Long-handled spades driven into the river walls and the bed beneath the water. The soil hauled up, dripping, washed, panned, and in the soil of the basin, if the day is kind, gold. It is called alluvial mining. Over centuries, rivers erode gold-bearing rock upstream, carrying the fragments down. Because gold is far denser than sand or gravel, it settles in predictable places, riverbeds, sandbars, floodplains. And because the mineral is already loose, a miner needs no blasting, no drilling, just a spade, a pan, and a strong back. It is the most accessible form of mining on earth, and under Kenya's Mining Act of 2016, artisanal mining is a preserve of Kenyan citizens. And it is here at the water's edge that we meet one of them, a miner who for security reasons sought anonymity.
So hii maji imekuwa ikitusaidia tangia 2009 ndio nilianza hii.
Hello Jubajambo, hope you're doing great. Happy new month, hope you had a beautiful weekend. Yes, karibu sana.
Kazi ya mkoti kwa maji, lakini hasa hiyo miaka yote yenye tunafanya ni kidogo pia yenye tunapata, si kitu mingi.
Before the Chinese came, he tells us a good day in this water could bring him 2,000 shillings, enough for his family, enough to keep going.
Ndio wanachimba hiyo nini inaenda chini kabisa, shimo inakuwa nini. Sasa hiyo chiko yangu nikiweka kwa maji huwa haiwezi fikia hapo chini vizuri, so inapiti na chota tu yenye hao wanafanya, yani narudia yenye wanafanya, so mapato inakuwa ni kidogo.
So how exactly did they get here? The artisanal miners residents tell us the same story almost word for word. According to them, the Chinese nationals arrived early last year and they did not come to the community. Rather, they went and spoke to the assistant chief.
The assistant chief. So, the assistant chief, of course, definitely has been given the word of approval by probably the governor of that county. The governor has been given approval by, of course, maybe the president, because it's not just happening. This money is being splitted amongst these crooks of this system and the Chinese. It's not going back to the people. That's why the people earn the breadcrumbs. Like you can hear them complaining. They no longer make even, they don't make as much as they used to before these people came to Africa. It's crazy. I mean, to even to Kenya and to Africa too, generally.
They then built a house, and on the water's edge, piece by piece, they constructed something this river had never seen.
Hao walikuja tu wakaongea na assistant chief, wakajenga pale nyumba hapo chini, wakaanza kuishi hapo wakichomelea hii kitu. Hii vitu ilitoka tu China, wakichomelea huko pale chini. Hasa vile iliisha, wakaanza kuchimba. Hasa watu wakawaletea kelele, wakipiga hiyo kitu na mawe. Ndio sasa wakasema wakalishe.
Tulifanya demonstration ya kama vijana, tumefanya demonstration, tujanyamaza. Tulipojaribu kufanya hiyo mambo ya kuwauliza kwa nini hii mashini imekuja na sisi tutakula wapi, tuliitwa na viongozi wetu. Tulipoitwa wakatuambia hawa jamaa wameshapata barua kutoka juu, sisi hatuna.
Of course, it was approved by, of course, and the top, who are the top? The president and his fellow crooks.
Ingine ya kuwasimamisha. Wakatuambia sasa sisi hatuna njia ingine. Sasa wakati ule walipotuambia hivyo, wakasema tupeana watu wawili tuone kama kutakuwa na maoni ya kutusaidia.
Only after the machine was already in the water, only after the complaints grew loud, was the community finally called to a meeting, and at the meeting came a promise.
Wakasema sijui watatengeneza hospitali hapa Mkoani na hapa kwa sababu location. Sasa mpaka wa sasa hiyo hospitali hatujaiona.
So they tried to silence the people by telling them. So when these Chinese people came here and started drilling gold, looking for gold, because this is what, again, this is what has been feeding people. This is where my grandma is. And I'm saying, I feel like my grandma, over the years, she might lose that land, because if I try to remember where the mining was happening, it might continue that way, eating our land, because they go destroying lands and they don't care. People are forced to leave, destroying the river itself. This is the river again, like you've had. It feeds people. This is where people are fetching water to eat, to cook, to wash themselves, to wash their clothes. This is the same river or the same place where they've been living for generations, feeding themselves and their families, taking children to school, buying food. This is crazy.
Hata mtu kama mimi huwa najiuliza hiyo hospitali ikikuja
Try to silence the people by telling them we're gonna build you a hospital in exchange to allow these Chinese people to exploit you, and they have not built the hospital till to date.
Saidia na nini ama itatusaidia na nini? Na sasa serikali siko hapa hata Shirumba, unaenda hakuna dawa nini.
Exactly. So he's asking, you promise people that you're gonna actually build them hospitals. We already have government hospitals that are no longer even helping. We already have government hospitals in this county, in this mega county, that are not helping people. There are no medications there. When you go there, you're told to go buy medication in another, in a chemistry, in a pharmacy somewhere else. While the hospital, which is public, is supposed to be giving you medication for free. So promising us people something that, number one, doesn't even function with whatever we have does not even function is even crazy. In the name of exploitation, take this for this. This is crazy, man.
Asa hiyo huwa najiuliza nani ataweka hapo madawa? Nani atakuwa akiweka hapo madawa tukienda?
kutibiwa. Sisi kama wananchi wamejua ya kwamba tuko maskini, wanakuja na shilingi 500, wanatafuta wale ambao wako wadhaifu, wanawapatia shilingi 500.
Exactly, and people are too smart right now. So this Gaba guy is also saying they've understood that many people are poor and many people are living on a hand-to-mouth situation. So you can't silence people with 500 Kenyan shillings with empty promises so that they can keep quiet as they continue eating big breads. You get the breadcrumbs because you're so desperate and you're poor, and I'm not going to give you a job or provide a job for you. As a matter of fact, I'm taking the little that you've created for yourself, giving it away for free to a Chinese firm or company. This is just crazy, man.
Alafu wanasimama na hao wanaunga mkono. Sasa wengine hatuna sei, kwa sababu wanajaribu kuchukua wale ambao wako na shida, wameshawapatia pesa kidogo, wameunga mkono.
Nobody in this village has ever seen the letter from above, but it ended every argument, and the two men who took the job are only named as sellouts.
Now, according to Google, is that there is no single official public number stating how many Chinese mining companies hold active license in Kenya. Okay? But do we have them operating? Yes, and in plenty. As the Ministry of Mining updates that the cadastre registry continuously and deals with companies on a case-by-case basis. Major non-Chinese entities, historically or currently linked to license, joint ventures, or formal application include Phoenix Mining Industry, which is a coal block in Kitui County. And I can imagine there are a lot amount of logging going on there probably. We have the Chinshuan Company, which is a diatomite extraction in Baringo County. Kenya has resources, don't be fooled. Africa has resources. We have Zhenghui, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Zhenghui Technique Kenya, which is an application for that diatomite and industrial mines in Baringo and Taita Taveta County. And definitely more and more that are not listed. So these are just the ones we know. So the one we're seeing right here is not under any registration, but it's operating. The government, of course, knows what is happening because you can hear that there's a letter given from the top. Who are the top of these countries? We already understand the African politics, who are the top. The top starts from the president to the security. I think the vice president comes even third before the security or after the security, you know. Like the vice president is not considered that important in these countries or in this country. Security matters a lot. You have to have them closer by you, you know. And then we have the Minister of Mining and we have the governors, and that's it. The moment you tap the governor, that's it. You have it. Everything you want in the county.
As everyone else is left to work around the machine as best as they can.
Chimba wapi na hiyo kitu inafanya kazi. Sasa hatuwezi chimba. Hatuwezi. Hata ukitembea hivi huwezi pata sisi kama tunachimba. Tunachimba namna gani? Wamechukua utawala wa kuchimba katikati wote. Wanachimba huko wakisonga hivi mpaka kwa mwisho. Tena wanasonga mbele. Tena wanarudia hiyo yenye wamechimba, yenye wameosha, wanarudia hata tena ndani. So huwezi pata chochote.
Sisi ni kuna wake yetu ndio kidogo yetu na watoto wanakuwa. Sasa saa hii ukipeleka hivi saa hii sasa analima hivi. Sasa mjanga tena rudi nani wanakulima hapo pande shida. Kimu naongea tu watu fanye nini? Baenda. Sababu kiendelea hii tutaumia.
And according to the villagers, when the machine reaches the main bridge at Chavakali, it will have finished everything.
Watu si wazuri. Sababu ndio kimaliza ndio kaenda ukimaliza huko juu. Unajua sasa tukoje huko.
Exactly. So you say the Chinese people are not nice people. Of course they're not nice. Of course they're not. The Chinese people are not good people. Of course they're not. It's crazy politically how we're fooled that these are the better option. You know, we need to abandon America. We need to, with all this bullshit when every time we're talking about loans, or even the economy is collapsing. When you talk about debts and all that, oh, Chinese are the better allies. We've been seeing African countries trying to compare that bullshit, not addressing the main, how China is actively in Africa. Might not be directly as we know of history, but they're doing it. They're exploiting us big time, benefiting off our backs big time. So what are you talking about? Yeah, they're not good people. Seeing these people are extracting everything. They don't even get even a bit nowadays that they can go even sell and get their $2. The Chinese are ensuring they're digging everything out so that you will be left hungry and starving. They're digging everything out. This is crazy. I feel, I think, and I hope not, but based on how I left the things last time, looking at the structure of that mining, so many people are gonna lose their land. My grandma might be one of them.
Ukimaliza huko sasa watakuja huko. Jua naanzia huku.
Exactly.
Usiona unaanzia huko. Sasa unaenda hivi. Ikiisha mahali itakani ishe. Unajua sasa watakuja huko. Hivi uzuri hao waende.
For miners and for communities here in Mukoyani village, these foreigners are not just mining for over 17 hours a day. They are pushing them out of the river that they are now living.
At around midday, our 3-hour wait ends. The crew emerges on a smaller boat and makes its way to the dredger, the start of what workers on site call their second shift. And as they proceed to their work on the dredger boat, our camera catches something no one wonders about. Look closely.
The police, a Kenyan police officer, of course. Look at that, a Kenyan police officer. KDF, Kenya Defense Force. Didn't I just mention to you guys, in this country, our top officials are what? The president. The vice president does not matter. Mark my words. Okay? The vice president is just there for the show because this is how the system has been set up. We must have a vice president. But this guy doesn't even have a say, especially when it comes to Ruto. I bet. That's why Gachagua literally probably was impeached, because this man doesn't want to be told what to do. Okay, so we have the top officials. Listen, the president, security, security. Those president and the security, look at Museveni. Another copy and paste of what I'm telling you. Look at Museveni. Look at these African puppets. They have the security of the country, like literally so close to them. They have bought the security. They reshuffle when they see someone is a threat to them and put their relatives. They put their relatives. Let's continue.
At that boat, a uniformed police officer with a pink cap on his hand comes in the open and washes his face, clearly in operation with the Chinese nationals.
Of course, you dare go try demonstrate about these Chinese people, you're going to be shot and dead and gone and forgotten, and they come for your land.
This image raises the very question that we will carry into every office. Because if what is happening inside this river is lawful, why does it need police protection?
Exactly.
And if the very officials deny protecting these foreigners, then who exactly assigned these officers to this boat to guard unauthorized mining activity? But before anyone answers that question, it is worth knowing what the law already says about this river. Because 3 separate acts of parliament carry its laws. The Mining Act of 2016 settles ownership. It states that every mineral in Kenya, including those lying in the rivers, lakes, and streams, belong to the Republic, held by the national government in trust for the people. The same act treats dredging as ordinary mining, requiring the same permits as any other extraction, and it obliges every permit holder to keep toxic waste out of rivers and to restore the land when mining ends. The Water Act of 2016 goes further to state that the water itself is vested in the national government in trust for the people, administered by the Water Resources Authority. A mining permit allows you to take the mineral, but only a separate authorization from the Water Resource Authority allows you to touch the riverbed in order to reach it. And the Land Act of 2012 covers the banks. It states that riparian land is held by the National Land Commission and is not available for private allocation. According to this, rivers are riparian lands and thus cannot be privately allocated to anyone. So to even dredge this river lawfully, an operator needs 3 approvals.
Exactly.
A mining
They have not done none of them. They have done none of them. Just a letter from it's not even mentioned who wrote the letter. It's just called the top official. It's from the top. And since we're so corrupt, it just goes straight to the chief of this particular county. Approved, of course, by the governor, to the chief directly. No any other short or long procedures. Very short, quick and easy. Yes, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let nobody disturb you. We're going to offer security, okay? You don't have to worry about anything. Xinjiang, don't worry about anything. We promise you, you're going to be protected. Anybody who comes there to disturb you or yap their mouth, they're going to be shut and dead and gone and forgotten. So don't worry about it. As a matter of fact, we're going to continue and even continue. I'm promising you. Yeah. That is what is happening. And if they try stubborn, as a matter of fact, extract everything so that they cannot to bend their backs and accept the little they're going to be given and let you be.
Permit, a Water Resource Authority authorization, and an environmental line from NEMA, built on an impact assessment and genuine public participation. There is also one more line in the Mining Act that the chairman of the county committee that recommends artisanal permits reads it like a verdict.
Alluvial mining. And in most cases, it falls for us under the category of artisanal small-scale mining. And in this country, it is very explicit in the 2016 Mining Act, where artisanal mining is a preserve of the Kenyan citizens. So any foreigner involved in artisanal mining will be breaking the Kenyan law.
But it's not only the invasion that pains.
Hawa watu wameharibu mashamba yaliyo kwenye mto.
They are destroying people's farms because Kakamega County is also one of the counties that people are actively farming. People are farming. People are producing their food here. Maize, vegetables, a lot of things. You're destroying people's lands.
Na faida hata ya kwenda mtoni, kwenda tu wa juu wenye tunaishi na watakunywa wapi maji? Wenyewe ndaokopa kwenda kuchota maji hapa. Kwa minajili imeenda na imeharibika. Keomba kama serikali yetu warudishe China kwenye walitoka. Warudishe China.
Chinese should go back to where they are coming from.
Maji tulikuwa tunatumia kitambo, masamaki wameweka dawa zimekufa. Tuwezi pata samaki.
They have killed the fishes. They are putting some toxins, chemicals in the water. They are killing the fish to the point where the people now cannot even fish anymore. This is crazy, man. We can't go do this in China. Funny thing, what can we go get in China? Rice, noodles, That's all you can go get in China, and a lot of, I don't know, shrimps, and even lucky if you get some shrimps, fish too. Fish and rice, noodles. What can I go get in China? Why can I do this in China? And without permission, as a matter of fact, without permission, I can just go to China with a group of people from Kenya, and we say, oh, there's some gold here. And especially I want to see where in China they have gold, okay? But yeah, there's some gold here. And then let's start extracting without, just let's go to the president of China, Jinping. Is easy. let's go. It's gonna be easy. And then that's it. We start mining. Huh. You crazy.
Kama ni kiboko wameshakimbia wamepotea. Mtoto anajua kuogelea lakini hawezi kanyaka hapo sahi. Ndio tunachungana watoto wasikanyage huko chini.
They further allege the use of mercury on the dredger boat, a toxic metal that traps gold like a magnet, and one of the most dangerous substances that can ever enter a river. But after watching the fish die, the chairman of Kakamega County Artisanal Mining Committee points to a second chemical.
It is also true that sometime 2 months ago, we witnessed some fish in Rivayala floating on top of the river. We couldn't exactly establish what was the cause, but we want to believe that in one way or another, that water should have been contaminated. We also have evidence that animals have died when they are getting water from Rivayala at some points. Now, when that happens, it could be that some of the leaching plants are also releasing the chemical we call sodium cyanide in the water when it's still raw. And if the livestock will consume that water, they'll definitely die because sodium cyanide is very expensive.
And that matters far beyond this bank, because the Yala does not stop at Mukonyi. It runs on through Kakamega and Siaya. Past intake points, the government itself tells us it has tapped water for household drinking and on toward Lake Victoria. So why has nobody been able to prove what is in this water? Niva Mahiva, mechanical engineer and an executive board member at the Kenya Chamber of Mines, try to expound why these allegations are hard to track.
What is killing the aquatic life is not mercury. It's something worse than mercury. Now, we've also not tested it. We've also not tested it because you see how remote the area is. We are getting a report. You are getting pictures, fishes floating on Rivayala. It's a whole community now running to pick the fishes and go and eat them.
And yeah, the fish,
And
you
then-
don't know even because exactly. So this is just crazy. So they go take the fish to eat them and you don't even know what is. Oh my God. So that is even going to your body too.
You hear a cow after taking the water on the same day. And now this is serious. But the river is flowing. When you take a test tomorrow, are you going to get anything? Because nobody reports immediately, this is happening and these are the specimens. You get it on social media, you do a follow-up. By the time you're getting to the scene, the river is flowing naturally and you're not seeing dead fish.
Now, remember the date I asked you to keep in mind, the 26th of May, the day the whistle blew. Within days of that message, according to the State Department for Mining, government investigators moved in on this river, an operation whose full details the Principal Secretary for Mining himself will lay out for you shortly. But hold that against this. On the 10th of June, days later, our cameras stood on this bank and filmed a foreign crew boarding that dredger.
They can take it to the lab, Jiba. That's what he's saying. You can take it to the lab, but the reports might not even come back. Because the moment you also realized, the moment it's figured out that you're investigating also what they are putting in the water, you might end up being killed and dumped in the same river. So I think he's trying to say, what he was trying to say is that we're living in a very undeveloped, and Kakamega County is not really that developed. It's not really that developed. Most of these counties actually that combine this river, they're not really that developed. And again, the governors are giving approval of this. So imagine, sources have it that there are investigations going on about this. Nah, come on. So the fish is being killed. You're desperate. Maybe you're a fisherman, and also you need your family to eat. You don't even know what is killing these fishes. You go take this same food, it kills you.
Second shift in the company of police officers. The people of this river are not surprised because, according to them, they watched this exact film a whole year earlier.
when we raided, we were with the artisanal mining chair, whom we had escalated the issue with. And when he escalated the issue, he went to the regional commandant, who brought us the rapid response unit. That's a very serious police unit. It was well coordinated, and the first thing we intercepted was the small boat that they would use to escape. Then we had them arrested. And when we had them arrested, the first thing that came up, they didn't have the right papers. That is where the issue was taken up by the DCI to immigration. But 2 weeks later, the guys were just back on the ground.
Exactly. You see what you see? You see? Yeah. They'll be arrested for the show. It's a puppet show, you know. They'll be arrested since the community is demanding arrest. Okay, cool. They'll be arrested, and a few weeks later, they'll come back to the same place. This is why you see why people have the audacity of spitting on our police officers, and there's nothing that is going to happen. Why? They'll be arrested and go back to the same place and spit on the same police officer, and there's nothing that is going to happen. The same thing. Or demonstrate about this mining or whatever, the DCI comes, investigate, or they act like they're in charge. A few minutes, weeks later, back on the same project. Corruption at its top. I'm telling you. At its top.
Like nothing happened. Like nothing happened.
Yep.
And until today, they are working like they own the place.
And according to the miners on this bank, the same pattern plays out even between the raids every time officials come calling from Nairobi.
Na zingine wanakuja wanasimamishwa, CID wametoka Nairobi, watu wa mining as wanakuja wakiongea, sisi hatujui wamesema nini.
Of course.
Inakuwa sasa ni shida, wao wameshakula wanaenda tena, wanawachiliwa wanaanza kufanya.
According to the people who live here, enforcement has become a pause button and somebody keeps pressing play every time. There is one more thing the miners want us to understand about the meetings held in this village. It concerns the money and whose hands it comes from.
Tumekuwa na mikutano kadhaa, hata mimi nimekuwa katika hizo mikutano. Unakuta ya kwamba wanagawa pesa. Nasikia wanagawa 1,000 baada ya mshamaliza mkutano. Tukiwauliza hizi pesa zenye mnagawa inatoka hapo, nasema every mkutano huwa kuna pesa. Na wenye wanagawa sio wale ambao wenye wako kwa maji, hao wenye wako na mashini. Wenye wanagawa ni wa viongozi wetu. Ndio wanatukaia pesa. Wanapotukaia wanasema hamuna njia ingine, hao watu wameshapata barua.
And the foreigners in the water we soon discover are not alone on this river system. A short distance away near Bushiangala, the earth itself has been rearranged. Excavators, massive soil movement, and a small stream that feeds River Yala visibly shifted from its course. It is here that we meet Mary Kasiala. Mary has lived here since she got married. Her farm sits just across the road from her home.
Hiyo shamba kulikuwa na siku moja nikasutukia matinga ziko huko ng'ambo, nikatoka hapa nikaenda huko, nikauliza na hii tinga mmeweka kwa jirani yangu, mmepitishia kwa shamba yangu, mliniuliza?
But not anymore.
Hata boundary hatujui ilikuwa wapi. Nini mtoni umetoa mahali ilikuwa laini, umepatilisha mmeweka mahali pengine. Hii shamba mmeiharibu, mtanifanyia nini?
Oh my God, man, why people are really, God, man, these people are disasters. I don't understand how you just find people living happily and you just find joy in destroying them. It's crazy, man. How do you just do this? You just find people living happily, peacefully, farming, minding their business, respectfully. You can't just invade because of some, oh my God. And we can't do this as Africans, no matter where we are. We can't. We can't do this, but they can.
She demanded compensation, 250,000 shillings, she told us, for the trespass and the damage.
Kwenda kwa mzungu ananiambia anakupea 10,000 peke yake.
Imagine. So she needed a compensation of 2,050 Kenyan shillings. That is roughly, let's see, how much is 250,000 Kenyan shillings. That is $1,931. Okay. She wanted that amount of compensation because of the damage they have done for her to be able to repair land, for it to come back to normal. But you know what they offered her? They offered her $90. They offered her $90. Are you kidding me?
Nikatoka huko nimekasirika kabisa.
Of course.
Mtoto wangu anakuja anaongea na Timothy. Anaambia Timothy, wacha tu tutaongea.
On that same ground, we find the man behind the machines. He gives his name only as Sam and tells us off camera that he is from Eritrea, a claim we cannot independently verify. But what we can see is right in front of us, a foreigner commanding local business laborers and local security, standing where a stream that feeds River Yala used to run. After weeks of soil movement, that stream is now gone. Sam does not deny much. His investment, according to him, has not been worth it. He says it has gone down the drain because the county government has finally caught up with him. And as we speak, the machines are being loaded onto trucks. He is moving to another area. Long before our cameras arrived, the men chosen to speak for artisanal miners were already raising the alarm. Watson Likoni represents Kakamega's young artisanal miners and serves as Secretary General of Ikolomani Gold Miners Limited. Ask him who stands behind the dredger, and he does not point at China. He points closer to home.
If you try to do the due diligence, it has a lot of political issues where it happens to be that our political leaders are included in the same Riwayala alluvial mining under the dredger. When you have an engagement with the community people from Riwayala, that is from Lokose, you will find that these people are being left behind as the main stakeholders of artisanal mining in terms of alluvial mining. Most of these people are complaining, one, they were never involved in public participation. Two,
of course, there is never public participation, but we have our very own president telling us how we need to be having public participation when it comes to matters and agendas of 2030 and 2060. Huh? There's never public participation. But there should be public participation when it comes to things on how we should be destroyed, agendas that have completely nothing to do with us. Still white people. Crazy.
In the residues that are being found in Riwayala, they are not even given anything, or be it employment or be it small duties or running errands in the same organization. On top of it, we've had a lot of time to engage the communal people, and you'll find that they are guarded with our interior system. So it is so hard for our people to interact with them or have another engagement that is very progressive.
And then he does the mathematics out loud.
The royalties from Kakamega is 14,000. You ask yourself a very sincere question. If the royalty of Kakamega County as a whole, we are getting 14,000 as royalties. Na dhahabu ambayo inachimbwa hapa Kakamega, let's use an example of pale Vayala. Watu wanachota dhahabu kilo 5 on daily basis. Hiyo dhahabu inaenda wapi?
And nobody disputes this. There is no single government officer at that site to weigh, certify, or tax whatever leaves it.
Talking from an expert point of view, when you go to the licensing part, you are allowed 1 block. On the river, that is 600 meters. We've been on the ground, and you can see that the Chinese have moved over 2 kilometers. And it's not only 2, that is recent. Those guys were more than 5 kilometers away when I last saw them early this year. So what that is now informing everybody is that the license they are using, there's another big hand behind the scenes protecting them.
Of course.
Because whatever they are doing, when a local is trying to get a permit to work on the river, it becomes very difficult.
Imagine.
How easy has it become for foreigners?
Imagine. It is so sad. Why don't you don't want to see an African in your country? You don't want to see the people of your country benefiting. But you want to see white people benefiting. The mindset, I'm telling you.
Which leaves one place where the truth should be written in black and white, the paper trail. Patrick Ligami went looking for it in the National Mining Cadastre, the official register of every license in Kenya.
We are aware of a miner there with a company called Particle Company that was granted 2 blocks. And when you talk about 2 blocks, then you are talking about a distance of almost 600 meters along the river. So we will want it to be confirmed very clearly on the cadastre from what locus of the river to which locus of the river are they supposed to operate, so that it is not infringing or trying to get into an area that is not theirs. Because the River Yala runs all the way from Rift Valley and all the way to Nyanza. And so you cannot have 600 meters and want to purport you are operating on the entire river. That will be wrong. This matter has been escalated to the relevant officers. Like when the rapid response police came and they were taken somewhere, we didn't get a report why they were back. And I think the issue of the rapid response police was about the ones who were having the treasure on the water, River Yala, who, after checking the cadastre, those ones have been given 2 blocks to work on. So from where they start and end, that's another issue altogether that can only be dealt with by the State Department of Mining. But the ones who are removing and destroying the topography within the river basin, in fact, are of a lot of major concern to us. We have informed the relevant people, and we are still waiting for action to be taken. And it's surprising that almost 2 months down the line, these people are still working along the river.
And when we reviewed the National Mining Cadastre portal ourselves, we saw the same thing. No license issued for mining inside River Yala. And so the questions arise. How is it that machines have worked a public river in the open for so long with nothing on record? Who clears them? Who shields them? We put those questions to the authorities, beginning with the environmental regulator. Johanna Ruben is NEMA's County Director for Kakamega. And before we ask him about the Yala, we ask him what the law demands of anyone who wants to mine in water, anyone at all.
NEMA expects that anyone who intends to undertake mining activities will do what we call an environmental impact assessment. An environmental impact assessment is basically a systematic procedure where you analyze the environment as is now, as well as the social components of the area where you intend to undertake your mining, document and identify the possible risks of the activity that is proposed. Environmental impact assessment is supposed to be done before commencing the project as well as before financing the project. Once you have identified the potential risks from your activities to the social and the environmental aspects of that given area, you do the assessment. Part of the assessment involves engaging the community through stakeholder engagement as well as public participation.
So we asked him about Poshiangala, the buried stream, and Mary's drowned farm.
We went on site and just like I explained, we did our own preliminary assessment. And what we got out of the interaction was that there might have been a miscommunication in terms of the compliance process. The proponent had some compliance papers with other government agencies, but they had not submitted an environmental impact assessment application, and we had not yet issued a license. But we are aware that they had begun the process and had done public participation, including incorporating one of the cooperatives, the artisanal miners cooperatives within that area. So, because the law is the law, we issued orders that they suspend works until such a time that a decision is made. But in the interim, we also ordered them to restore the area because the proximity to, there's a stream that feeds River Yala. We ordered them to do restoration works on that site.
All his answers against what you have seen so far. He says no activity will take place. Yet on the 10th of June, our cameras filmed dredging underway at Mukonyi. He also says restoration was ordered. Yet at Bushiangala, we film machines relocating over a stream that is still buried.
Exactly. It's all for the camera, just to tell you, oh, this is going to happen. It's not going to happen. If the orders are coming from the top, which is the president, this is not going to happen. If the agreement has been given by the president, it's not going to happen. They'll continue damaging many people's lives and lands and the river itself.
He says
they don't care.
Public participation was done, yet resident after resident looked into our camera and told you nobody asked them anything.
Exactly.
And when we press him further on those papers with other government agencies, he cannot tell us which papers or which agencies. The county government on its part distanced itself entirely.
But of course it will. Of course. The county, because anything that happens in a county, the governor is aware. Anything to do with money in a county, the governor is very much aware.
Formation with their people mining on River Yala, they are contaminating the water because that water there are various points where we have trapped it to be able to use for consumption in the households on Yala Butwe water project and other projects as well. So these people have not followed the due process and they are being protected by some people in government.
The same people.
I wouldn't want to mention, but it's not county government.
You don't want to mention why? Why did you defend the county government? Because the county government, like I said, approves everything that happens in the county. That's why she's jumping to that.
And they have not followed due process because I've been following up with the State Department of Mining. And even according to the State Department of Mining, these people have not followed the due process of being allocated and they have not even paid a mining license. They claim they are prospecting, but if you look at the activities, they're actually carrying out mining activities.
We further asked her why police were protecting the foreigners if what they were doing was illegal.
That's why I told you they're being protected by some people. Don't understand why they have police protection, yet what they are doing is wrong. And you see, if one hand in government is saying go on, the other hand is saying don't, it creates confusion even amongst the Wananchi.
We also reached out to the Water Resources Authority, the only body that can lawfully authorize anyone to disturb a riverbed. At their offices in Kakamega, no one will give us an official reply. Instead, a source within the authority told us the agency could not respond because it takes and acts on recommendations from NEMA. And although it is aware of the operations on the Yala, it has received no document from NEMA to date. And that leaves one office, the one that signs every mining license in the Republic. In Nairobi, the Principal Secretary for Mining, Harry Kimtai, on his part, does not hesitate on the question of legality.
There is nobody who has submitted an application to take either exploration or mining.
Understanding the amount of corruption these people carry and have, do you think they would actually allow someone to exploit this country without their approval, knowing very well. And I'm not even talking about the British, because we know they still can, but with the amount of corruption, if they're refusing just the residents of these counties, these places to mine, with the amount of corruption, you think they'd allow the Chinese to do this without their approval? Knowing that the Chinese are not going to have their protection from them without their approval? Oh, of course. So, just for the camera.
Mining through drenching of River Yala. I don't think we will be in a position to give anybody a license to mine in River Yala or any river in Kenya.
Live.
Because we give the license based on the blocks. So if you tell me that you want to take a river, number one, that's a river.
Liar.
Right? So basically, unless the Water Resource Authority either want that company or that person to do trenching, and the process of doing trenching and removing maybe the soil that has blocked the rivers, and we'll give you what's called permits to extract gold from outside the river, not within the river. We don't even have regulations to allow you to do mining in our waters.
He further confirms that in late May and early June, within days of the whistleblower's message, his department dispatched investigators alongside the DCI, and 4 individuals were arrested on River Yala and charged before the Kakamega law courts. As it stands, Tan Bing, Tang Ping Sheng, Zhu Jianzhu, and Huang Bo, under case number CFE 850 of 2026, charged under the Mining Act and the Immigration Act and released on cash bond, and are not to do any mining activity inside River Yala. And according to him, the Kakamega arrests are part of a wider crackdown.
Where we have information of illegal mining taking place, we have arrested them and taken them to court. As we are speaking, I want to tell you that we have deported over 30 foreigners who are doing illegal mining. We've also taken several to court, and there are those who have been fined. They've been given, sentenced and given an option of a fine.
Did they get Wing Chang Chi and Wu Chang Bong and Mi Chang Wang?
25 million.
However, the timeline does not end with those arrests. We tell him what our cameras found on the 10th of June, days after his department's operation.
If we have given us now this information that you are aware they are still ongoing, it's the first time we are hearing, but as far as you're concerned, our county mining officers confirmed to us that there are no more the illegal Chinese doing the trenching in River Yala. But again, we'll send our teams to go and verify, and if possible, rearrest them if they are still doing the trenching.
Bullshit.
And that will lead to their bond being cancelled, and they will be put in pending the outcome of the case. I believe the courts will do justice.
Then comes the hardest question of this interview. The 2 police officers our cameras filmed on that boat.
The police are there to protect the property.
The property? Which property? Property that benefits who?
Of Kenyans.
Kenyans. Huh.
As we speak, we all know that minerals are the assets or property of Kenya.
Are they?
And therefore their role is to protect.
Okay.
We've faced a lot of challenges. I agree that some of the officers have gone wrong. Instead of doing the right thing,
they're being told to go wrong.
Doing the wrong thing. And our prayer is...
Our prayer.
they should work with the State Department for Mining. They should verify, they should ask whether this person is licensed or not. And we'll be able to show them facts or give them evidence confirming that they have been licensed. So this is where the biggest challenge of mining is.
However, the man who holds the country's entire mining docket openly admits it. Officers have gone rogue, and the agencies meant to enforce this law and not playing their part. Notice too his choice of word, a prayer, not an order. The office that signs every mining license in Kenya is praying that police will check with it
Good afternoon,
before standing
Joby.
guard over what it calls a crime.
Good afternoon to you too.
Wow, that's kind of cold, ain't it?
Despite the PS,
Yeah, what are you doing here?
I
confirmed
ain't
to
said-
us
I
that
ain't said that, Joby. I said good afternoon. That's it.
the State
All the
Department
all
has
the
a dedicated
xenophobia.
police unit.
And we want also to thank our DCI unit and the whole criminal investigation directorate of our National Police Service. They have done a commendable job.
They have done a commendable job for protecting the Chinese from being attacked from the people, from the local residents who are protecting their lands that you're destroying and killing the rivers and the fish. Commending the police, the DCI, for doing a good job, for protecting the Chinese from exploiting the people. That's what he's saying. This is Africa. This is not just Kenya. This is Africa. Again, copy and paste in every office. This is how they're talking when they are actually journalists who are asking questions about this kind of issues.
That's true. Let me, can I say something real quick before you go crazy?
Go on.
But, but this is even to already shut down in this country with the Chinese, Arabs, and the other people stealing gold outside the country. He shut it down completely. He said no more. Huh? Yeah. He shut it down completely. And as you see, their gold count went up from I think it went up like 95%, and like six months the gold in the country is like, I think it was like $12 billion this year in 12 months. So yeah, he shut it all down. There's no way you're gonna get out of Burkina Faso with no gold, and ain't gonna be no Chinese setting up no. that's stopped completely. Of course, like Joby said, you see this in Ghana, you see all these Chinese and all these different African countries stealing gold and resources and everything else everywhere. I mean, they got a plane coming to Nairobi. Like I think it's like 10,000 a week of Chinese coming to Kenya. But anyway, it's a lot. It's crazy.
Whenever information is received in regard to illegal mining, prompt action is taken.
Lies.
So this is where the record stands tonight. The State Department for Mining says no application, no permit, no regulations. Simply, it's illegal. The Water Resource Authority, through our source, says no authorization has ever touched this riverbed. NEMA says no impact assessment was ever submitted and no license issued. The National Cadastre, checked by the permits chairman and reviewed by us, shows no license in the river. And the county government says the operations are protected, in its own minister's word, by the people in the national government. And so the questions pile up, one on top of the other. If no application has been filed, who fuels a machine that runs up to 17 hours a day? If 4 men are answering charges in a court of law, who is crewing the dredger our cameras filmed days later? If the county government is not protecting these operations and the national government is not protecting these operations, then who is? And who assigned armed officers to guard what the state itself calls a crime? 22 days. 22 days after I sat down with Principal Secretary Harry Kimtai, who looked straight into our cameras and assured Kenyans.
If we have given us now this information that you are aware they are still ongoing, It's the first time we're hearing, but as far as you're
First time.
concerned, our county mining officers confirmed to us that there are no more the illegal Chinese doing the trenching in River Yala. But again, we'll send our teams to go and verify, and if possible, rearrest them if they are still doing the trenching. And that will lead to their bond being cancelled, and they will be put in pending the outcome of the case.
On July 31st, we returned to the same site, and what we found raises even more questions than answers. There it is, the dredger, not abandoned, not seized, not under investigation.
Exactly. Still existing, still extracting, still mining. Oh, we've had this for the first time. We're going to send our people to go investigate. Manta. They even given you the date. This is just this last month. They went and checked. The same thing is still happening. Crazy.
But fully operational. On board, 2 Kenyan workers continue with business as usual. Moments later, another resident is seen washing what appears to be ore freshly collected from the dredger. Then, our camera captures the moment. A Chinese national emerges from the dredger carrying a green bucket filled with what we suspect is freshly mined ore. In his other hand, a bag. He starts a smaller boat and calmly leaves the scene, flanked by the 2 Kenyan workers in orange life jackets. And as our cameras continue rolling, another Chinese national can be seen on the dredger in the background. These are not claims. These are the images. Images recorded 22 days after the government's assurance that action will be taken. So where is that action? Where are the arrests? Where is the enforcement? Where is the state that promised to stop this apparent illegality? Because if anything, the operation is uninterrupted, unshaken, untouched. And that leaves an even more disturbing question. Is this simply illegal mining, or an illegal enterprise sustained by the silence, inaction, or protection of those entrusted to stop it? Which brings us back to Principal Secretary Harry Kimtai. When you looked into our cameras and promised decisive action, did you genuinely intend to dismantle this operation?
No, it's not going to happen. This is Africa. This is not going to happen. And sadly, I'm gonna just be honest as well. The people, you have to unite, because you have to unite, because this is happening in many parts of the country. And if you don't stand together and fight, it's sadly we're gonna become Congo soon. Like you've heard, Kakamega is one of the places that has resources, gold to be specific. Like there's plenty of gold, but the people are not benefiting from it even now today. Leave alone how they used to get $2. The $2 is no longer there. The Chinese are taking it, all of it.
Well, you heard Tiani tell you the truth. With he's got honest guy, only honest. Tiani and Nigel told you this, all this fake terrorism, all these Chinese people, all these people come to the country, it's to recolonize African people. The fake terrorism is all Europe, like you said, it's correct. In America, it is correct. These fake terrorist groups, and assisted with the African puppets. So this is to recolonize Africa because we're rich. Everybody wants our shit. And they want to keep us in poverty. That's what Tiani said. That's not Keith said it. I've been said that though. But Tiani said that. He said all these people are invading us. They've kept the African people impoverished. like Joe, always ask the most craziest questions. And we're sitting there happy, and why would you come by? If you're sitting on a pile of gold, and I'm a savage, you think I'm gonna let you sit on your pile of gold and be happy? Do what you want to do when I want the gold for me and my people?
It's crazy. It's crazy. That was literally wind up with today's conversation. I see Jiba Jamba. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Jason, Karibu Sana, and Asante for joining. And to those who are listening silently and those who are going to catch this on a replay, hope you guys enjoy. Jiba asking, so do the Ching Chongs pay a bribe and set up operations? I don't even think they pay anything. You know, is this an
They
agreement?
pay a bribe. They pay a bribe. But some of them, depending on how illegal they are. A lot of Chinese, the Chinese think that Africans, this is the Chinese, don't go crazy on me. And everybody knows it. Chinese think Africans are stupid and dumb and stupid and weak. So they said the white man exploited them for so many years. The Chinese said it's our turn now. This is what they openly say. White man did it. It's our turn now because they haven't learned that Africans are still stupid and weak. Nobody put these videos on with this disrespect of African people, calling African people ignorant, low IQs. So sometimes they, like Joby could be correct. Sometimes they do a bribe. A lot of times they don't. They say, well, we just go and bribe the person in the area because they're all stupid. They're all weak and goofy. And the Chinese know that African people worship non-African people. I don't know why they worship Chinese people, but they do too. It's crazy. Something with that the African mindset is like, it's not even to Ray. Your Stockholm syndrome in Africa is on another level. It's insanity. So Joby may be right. They might not even have to bribe nobody. We're Chinese. Ooh, those Chinese people. Ooh, they come in, smack a nigga in their mouth, come on in there and start just digging up gold and getting rich. Because
why don't the villagers sabotage the mining? I'd say we're talking about a generation that is so uneducated and full of fear. That is one
exactly.
of the full of so much fear full of fear of police, fear of the government itself, you know, the government body itself. So they're scared to fight. That is just how I can literally put it. Uneducated and fearful, you know. But
Joby just told you. Uneducated and cowardly. That's what the Africans call it, cowardly. So, Joby told you.
The young man should sabotage the mining equipment and sand in the crack case. I wish they would. I also
do that. Exactly. Do that. Yeah, somebody, hey, they can sabotage. They know how to sabotage my shit. Yeah, some lady. So if they see black people doing it, they're not scared to sabotage the shit. But there was a bunch of Chinese and white people. Oh no, that's the Chinese and the white daddy. I'm gonna share some shit with you guys. I had a lady, right, who sabotaged my shit. I said, hey, don't lose her anymore. Because I paid her for not doing no work. She didn't do nothing for 3 months. I paid this lady, but she didn't do shit. So since I didn't pay her, I told the lady, Strawberry, I told the Strawberry, let's say, don't use this lady no more. I'm not paying no more. She didn't do anything. It's clear everybody says she didn't do anything. So, but before I can finish the fence around there, this lady went into my damn greenhouse and started planting fucking potatoes and destroyed the strawberry beds. She cost me $1,000. This bitch then went in there and just started putting potatoes and shit up in there. And so I got a call early Saturday morning asking me. I'm gonna put it on the WhatsApp channel for you guys to see. So I got a call Saturday morning. I'm sleeping like it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. You're like, Keith, what are these potatoes going up in the damn greenhouse? I said, huh? I'm just waking up. I said, huh? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Potatoes? What? Potatoes? What are you talking about? Yeah, just potatoes all in the beds. We got to be taken. And so, me thinking quickly, I said, I already knew exactly. Quickly. And the one who called me didn't know. I said, it's that bitch from next door. It's her ass. It's that bitch. She put them shit in there. She said, Keith, I don't want to just complain that lady. I don't know. It's her. Who the fuck is walking around with goddamn potatoes and shit and putting it in greenhouses? I said, and when I purchased the land, I had to dig up the potatoes that she already had out there underneath that area. She's the one planting potatoes and shit. So it's her ass. And then a lady told me she left her a threatening text about, so you still gonna You still haven't sort. You know, in Africa they say sort people out, right? Kenya they say sort. So they say, when you gonna sort me out? Right, sort you out. Right, Page, nobody hired you no more. So they said, when you gonna sort me out? I told her, that's her right there threatening you. She did the shit. This lady did that fuck shit. It's her. But see, they can do that to black people because the Africans are scared of any other race. That's why the South Africans will run around beating up other Africans. They're not beating up nobody white. This is the problem with African people. They're cowards against any other race besides African people. That's been the problem. Shadim Toure said it, but this is, you don't got to be a scientist or to observe that African people are scared of non-African people. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what's going on. Shout in Black America, we got rid of that a long time ago after slavery. Like, hey, what? We're not scared of your ass. But most Africans are just scared of other people. Even said they're scared. Well, you got beating up Africans, the same people in South Africa, and not the white people who stole all their money. You know, so they're gonna beat the Chinese, man. Chinese out there stealing the land, poisoning it. You would have been burned that shit up and wrecked it. You're not gonna have me drinking poisonous water while you stealing money out of my country. Wreck that shit to all hell. Get out of here. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
That's why we come to the end of this conversation, family. Thank you for joining.
Let me get a preview. Let me get a preview for everybody's gonna be here tonight. So later tonight we're gonna talk about. I'm sure you guys already know. We're gonna talk about Roland Martin getting caught butt naked, right, in his sex scandal. This coon ass Negro, this boule handkerchief head Negro, got caught. I don't understand these old niggas got caught sending dick pics and being in a thong with his fat nasty ass. And the lady and got the lady taking the pictures with her fingers going up in his butthole. Like what? And the pictures are real because she's about to release him. She said he's gonna sue her, but he confirmed all that's real. So the fingers in his asshole and all this other. These coons are freaky as shit. Damn, that's somebody taking a picture of you straight on the bed with their finger in your butthole. What? What? But that's gonna be the show tonight. Remember when Roland Martin came? Roland Martin was talking shit about me when we were still big. Remember Roland Martin? You guys been around long enough. You guys remember Roland Martin came onto the channel talking shit about me, and then leaving comments in the comment thing. That was back in. I said, man, that was 2018. That was in 2018. I said, Roland, I'm not Tariq, nigga. You think I'll destroy you? You better go ahead and go away, Roland. You better go. You don't want it. You don't want to get that. Yeah, you don't want to get that work with me, nigga. You don't want that work with me. And then I came back on his show. He's all nice to me. I told you, he said, Keith Newsom has an answer in the chat room about house or some shit. Yeah, nigga. I'm not Tariq. I'll break your back for real. I didn't even know you was freaky like that, but we're gonna get it tonight. You freaky nigga. Now women putting fingers up your butthole. Nasty freak.
So much love for me. Thank you for joining me this amazing morning. It's 1 minute past 6 a.m. See you guys in an hour, 30 minutes. We're gonna be
That's right. We're gonna be examining some butthole juice.
Oh my
nasty
God.
nigga.